Space meeting to order at 2:05 on this date, November 14th, 2023. We are being videoed. Has everyone gotten a chance to look over last meeting minutes? Any changes or any? Everybody's happy with it? Okay.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay. So moved.
You need a second?
All in favor?
I seconded. Aye.
All right. And next is the town meeting results. And did Lisa, no, Lisa didn't make it. Yeah, I went to the town meeting. It was very interesting.
I went to
You went to? Where were you sitting?
behind you.
Oh, right. That one heckling back there? Yeah, so you know what happened as well. So basically, there were the two warrants that were brought up by Chris Betancourt, no, by Justin Picarello on something like that, and on Orange Street about, the one was about it's a scenic road, so basically they wanted to restrict the commercial vehicles going up and down Orange Street because it's very unsafe for them just going up and down, you know, and it's narrow. You meet a truck at a top, and it's so that the first one passed. The second one, making it so that there were only 5 building permits to each person, any applicant limited to 5. And previously it was 15.
15, I think.
And that expired in 2017. So it's been unlimited since then, and he wanted to bring it down. He and the neighbors wanted to bring it down to 5. And it brought up a whole lot of different issues. One of them was, might restrict grants that we could get in the future because we had restrictions on certain things. And boards didn't get it until like a day before the meeting. So they, finally, Tim Bonin on the selectmen recommended that we continue it for, let the planning look at it, let finance look at it, and check it for, any kind of implications that can happen as a result of voting it in. So that's where that one is. But sort of, it's, everybody's now becoming cognizant of that situation. And so it's good for all 80 people that were at the meeting. And maybe those that watched it online or whatever. So that was that. And I was hoping there'd be a nice map from Central Mass Regional Planning in the box. I haven't heard from them in maybe about a week or so. Certainly asked all the questions, but we'll see. I don't know whether Matt, who is out on medical leave now, our little community guy, whether he needs to check the box or something like that. But I talked to his assistant, and she said that she'd look into it.
John?
To make sure that there wasn't something that's outstanding that needs to be done for us to get that map of the southeastern part of town. So that's that. And, we just keep getting questions about the open space and recreation plan update. Back to the beginning at least 5 times. So I haven't heard from him this week. I don't know if he's got all the little information. I guess it's that one little piece of land that's up along Manchog Pond that's the only thing that I couldn't provide information for him. Yeah. Oh, well, at least there's not condos on it that we didn't know about. Yeah.
So So I think if we can't wrap this up by next month, we have to ask Mr. Wojek to intervene, because I was looking at some stuff, and we started working on this in April 22. And I just don't understand what the
Yeah,
problems
and
are.
we said we could get it done in a year, I think.
It
but
was
we-
done.
Right.
Yeah, we got our part done.
Right.
I think the changeover put a huge wrench.
There's still wiggling on the ADA requirements too, since there's no, process really, because there's no committee.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I think it's time that we put our administrator on it with
Push.
the powers that be up there and say, we have to wrap this up. I don't understand where all these questions keep coming from, and
I know, most of them we already answered.
they've already
In there.
Yeah.
yeah, and they've given a letter of support, and it's just like, why are we still dealing with, what level of protection is on a conservation parcel? They should know that. Anyway, that's my recommendation for next meeting.
Okay. Next one, Walnut Street, update.
So I can't remember if we saw this at the last meeting or not, but I sent around this map that Mary had sent me regarding this last parcel that is in part what we looked at on our site walk that runs along Tinker. Yeah, it gives us access from Walnut to Tinkerville Brook and around. And then I realized this internal piece here, I don't know what that is anymore. Or were those, because I don't see the house lots. So I have to go to the assessor's office. I don't see the house lots that were, see, this is the 20-something acre parcel, but I don't see the house lots broken out here. So I'm unsure how much of this is actually, there's a house over here now, I think. But
Did the engineer draw that correctly?
I don't know. So I have to see what the assessor has on file and then go back. Did you want to?
It's the
pass it
seven,
around?
yeah, it's been switched around so much.
But is it the committee's, so annual town meeting happens in May. I think it's the first week of May. And the warrant has to be prepared like 6 weeks, at least 6 weeks ahead of that, if not more. And so if we want to move ahead with a friendly taking or somehow purchase this property at that annual town meeting, we have to start getting our ducks in order.
Yep.
And I'm willing to try to have a meeting with Matt Wojek and say, okay, what do we need to do? What are the steps that we need to take to make this happen? If that's what, we still think it's valuable to pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're looking at a connection between two roads, so. At the very least, you can get hiking,
Yeah.
It's a nice piece of property, we should keep it.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives us the access to that big lot, though, that's accessible from Chestnut Street, too, but it's not
Right.
much.
Because we were hoping to basically go in and then possibly create a boardwalk or something that crosses over and then gets us in here, but then this parcel might someday be our town's too. So I just think we should continue to pursue it.
Absolutely.
All right. But this needs more definition
Can
to
you show me that?
figure out what's left.
Yeah.
Any other suggestions, or?
No, I think we could invite Matt to our next meeting.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying I will speak to
Yeah,
him,
okay.
just hash out what the steps are, and then I'll bring those back.
Sounds good.
Or if, I mean, there's also the question of, so I think our options are friendly taking or easement. So there's two things there we can, right?
So the friendly taking would be balancing out the value and the taxes and all.
Yes. But it would mean that the town would own the property versus,
Conservation.
no, versus someone else still retaining ownership, and that we just have a right of way. That would be the difference.
Favorable.
I mean, we'd still probably pay something for it, but it would just be a right of way. It would not be a purchase.
For the friendly taking.
No, for the easement.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. All right, on to the Keven property. So Gordon and I did a drive around. And we checked all the different places that were on Sam's question list there one day. And so we measured at the peril of our lives, southeast Maine, and it was 200, what was it, it was 21 and a half feet wide.
That's stone wall to stone wall?
No, that's just the pavement,
Oh, just the pavement.
How wide?
21 and a half. So there's new owner.
As far as the easement is concerned, would that be under the Conservation Commission to contact them, the new owners? To ask?
Yeah, how to start this, yeah.
Dated, according to Matt Wojak. I don't know if it's Conservation Commission or us.
Well, Conservation wants to is holding the
Sign.
sign, so I would say it would be them. Plus, they're the owners of the property.
We need to,
Want me to write conservation a letter and, okay, and tell them there's new owners and find out their address and name and everything and ask them to contact them about the easement.
yeah, because the easement needs to be
Right,
more detailed as to what we can do
yeah.
to be able to develop that parking lot.
Sue, did you ever ask the assessor what the width of the street is?
Yeah, we looked it up and it was MV, something variable, mainly variable or something like that. There's some streets that have a listing on them and some streets that have just that. Most streets have just that. So I said, how do you figure out the size of a lot if you don't know like where the lot starts at the
Right.
street? You know, guess I could measure mine to see how far, how deep it is. To the stone wall, I guess.
All right.
My stone wall is about 10 feet wide though. Okay. Okay. Anything else on the Keven property? Just start there. Okay, master plan. Anybody interested in doing a master plan?
I did check with Matt after our last meeting, and he did say that it doesn't have to be one person. He says as long as it's not 3 members attending, because then
Yeah.
that would be a meeting, but if
Overwhelmed,
They
yeah.
wanted to
Alternate or something.
alternate or something like that, yes.
Yeah. That would be possible if somebody, if the volunteer couldn't make it, but they needed somebody else, we could have a backup or something like that. I'm not going to do it myself. Anybody?
I wasn't interested yet either, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to know when you don't know how much time it's going to be, and you don't know how
Yeah.
often the meetings are, and you don't know what you're going to do. It's kind of
Right.
vague, so it's
Right.
hard to say.
You
wanna
could
get-
say you're tentative until you know what that is going to entail. I wouldn't think it's,
I almost think our part shouldn't be that bad because we've already.
you just bring the notebook with the plan in.
So it's just gonna be,
Yeah, but it's just to make sure that they.
Our member could be the plan.
that gets in there, so.
And just make sure it gets in the master plan.
I'd be willing to do some. Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure there's, it's going to be interesting, other people on the committee and different boards coming together and private citizens that are concerned. So, all right.
Well, thank you, Gordon.
Yeah, do you want to contact them, or do you want,
Is information on here, or no? Who is it?
I forget where do I have it? Yeah, this is it. Yep, Kevin Morse. Yep, you had this letter?
I don't. Do I?
Okay. Why don't you pass this around to Gordon, and then he can keep it. Here you go. That's all you need, Rob.
Oops.
You could just put a note in the box right here
Okay.
with your contact information or something, and ask them what it entails.
Or just write that you're willing to participate and on that memo, and then make a copy and then stick it in the box. And give them your email, your contact info.
Okay. There's quite a bit of old and new business, but before we do that, I should probably head out in a minute, but next meeting, 12/12 at 2 PM, okay for everybody?
Sounds good right now. I already have it in there, so. I already have it in there.
Oh, yeah?
so I guess it's good.
Way ahead of the game. All
I
right,
think I just put it in for the whole year.
yeah. I mean, I have for old business a lot of things, but I was wondering when the next Board of Selectmen meeting was, because Lisa and I went to the one, and then I think we might have missed the second one. The one we went to was on
The 17th.
the 17th, so technically they're the first and third Tuesdays.
Correct.
So the first Tuesday of November was the 7th.
Right, but it wasn't on the agenda.
Okay.
I don't believe it was on the agenda, and plus
And
they
that
were
was the
going to.
holiday.
And they were going to add something. So we haven't been
Notified.
notified that anything's been added as far as the policy goes, and we have not been notified that there's a second reading. So I was going to send a,
Yeah, it would be the
Query.
21st probably would be the next meeting, their next meeting, if it's on the agenda.
yeah, but they should be telling
Right,
us.
right.
So I will send a note.
Yeah, because what's today's, the
Well, the
14th?
The 17th is Friday. So that's
That
a whole
was-
month later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
So I'll inquire about the status and where are we on that.
And I looked at the chapter land list that can change people can just not renew their chapter lands on the 31st, by the 31st of December. So it'd be interesting to get a list of who's on it now before that, and maybe see if there's certain people we wanted to write letters to, or start farming out ideas to people that own large pieces. And offer them alternatives or whatever, just. Oh, and the land off the land on the French property on Mikowski Drive there, I went to the town assessor to ask him about that piece. There's 121 acres in there that is listed for Andrew's survey that's not there, I don't know. But he just pulled me through a whole bunch of mess-ups that he doesn't really even know who owns the land. So there's a lot of that going on, I think. That's Mikowski, which it's not our conservation land I'm talking about, it's abutting land. That's 121 acres, right in the corner there, southeast. So, and we were talking about asking for more money at the May town meeting, and subcommittees and stewardship stuff. But other than that, I think I gotta leave. I did found the waiver,
Oh, great.
so I'm thinking of drop it off and have her put it on the website.
Oh, we don't have there's no electronic copy?
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
I just had the paper copy,
Oh, okay.
so, yeah.
Save that and turn it into an electronic copy.
You want to take it?
Or she just has she can scan, I mean, if we just give it to her, she can make it herself.
Okay.
You want to give it to her?
Sure.
Babysit.
2 pages?
All right. I'm out here. You can close the meeting and wrap it up yourselves.
Thanks.
It'll be underneath the, put under open space.
Right.
I'm off to watch cartoons.
Bye, Sue.
Have fun.
Tell me if you want to go for another ride.
So do we have any ideas on how much, well, I think it's sort of backwards to talk about budget before we have an idea of what we want to do. And then stewardship, maybe we just have to put a line in the sand and decide to call, I don't know, to call for a meeting or something in the evening. Anybody who wants to work on stewardship and trails in town? I don't know. But I also sent around that trails grant.
The land conservation.
Yeah. I mean, do we have any ideas on what we might be able to apply for under that? Because besides this, we don't know really what the time frame is, but we could include a boardwalk or something, or maybe 2 boardwalks. We'd have to spec it out and everything, but this is to make sure we can get out to Walnut Street, to Chestnut, this would be a possibility.
I don't think there's anything on the burner for like purchasing per se.
Or maybe we can find out and then include the purchase of all or part of this as part of the grant.
If she's a willing seller.
Yeah. But there's a workshop on the, workshop webinar, whatever, on the 20th that I might try to go to just to get better understanding of what qualifies, though I do have a list of what they, I should send that around, what they funded in this last round.
December 20th, right? December?
November. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's November 20th, because I think it's a pretty short window. I think the deadline's in January, although it's been there for a while, so that's my fault. But. Yeah, that would be next Monday.
December 20th?
Yeah,
That's a Westboro, the fishing game, right?
correct.
Time on that?
11 a.m. Let me know if you want to go. But are there any other, I can't think of any other trail possibilities at the moment.
What did we do on? We have some trails and parking.
Oh, because this can be, applicants can be municipalities, DCR, or the Commonwealth, I think. And they funded a couple that were land trusts, but it was unclear that how that connection was working.
What we'd like to do with these different pieces of property. So, what's the issue with Mikowski Drive? No place to get in there?
I'm not sure. It's conservation, or, oh, wow, would that be, would the Keven, the grant would take care of the parking, and we could map out a trail.
Yeah, yep. And do we know the boundaries of this property?
The Keven property?
Yep.
Yeah,
We do know the bounds.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So you don't have to ask to have it surveyed then?
No,
Okay.
so it's town-owned property, so the town could definitely apply. We'd have to work pretty, well, it's that whole easement situation. Because we'd have to, in order to make the application, we need, estimates at least on, right? That's a big collection of,
Yep.
like, how much would it cost to prep and finish the parking spot? How much do we want to develop the trail circuit? Do we need any, are there any water crossings? That kind of thing. But that would definitely, I think that would definitely be a possibility. I'm just trying to see if I can find the deadline.
It's a company, I know at least one, Conservation Works, that will come in and check out the property and lay
Right.
out the trails and come up with
A package?
a package, yeah.
Okay. But our big nut to crack on that is to get clarification on the easement. Because if we can't access, or maybe they would have an idea of, so we still have 14 feet, right? Without the easement, there would be no parking, but there's still a 14-foot
Yes, yep.
path in. So we could look at that as all right, we don't have any place to park, but we could develop a trail through the whole thing. People would have to park on the side of the road.
Let's think big. If the easement thing doesn't work out, 14 feet, that's wide enough to pull a car in. Establish parking further in.
And we'd have enough money to blow up those rocks. Okay. Let's see, what is the deadline? I like that idea. What's the acreage, 60? Something like that?
Don't know off the top of my head. Assessor's map. That was 70 something.
The deadline's Thursday, January 11. That's really quick, but
But at the very least, that's yearly, isn't it? So
yep.
figure out what's required and whatnot. Maybe that's the biggest thing. What's involved with it? Is it really a hugely involved grant? Some are, some aren't.
How else did I do this? Oh, I sent it already. I sent
Yeah,
it.
you did.
Yeah. All right, let's,
It's better to find out what's involved with all these different grants, and then we can start coming up with things that tailor to start meeting these. It might not make this deadline, but it will give us the information we need for
future. And we get our feet wet understanding the different components and how we have to, like, this one is through the municipality, it's not partnering with anybody else in particular, so.
I'm trying to go with that with if you want.
Okay. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to get a parking area off the road, off the road. So,
I know I walked in there before, I'm just trying to think how it looks going in there.
yeah, and
It's been a
remember,
while since I've
yeah, it's just all those boulders and everything, but then,
getting back.
and then it opens up, and then we wanted to, I think, go towards the south, and there's a stone wall there, and we were talking about making a break in the stone wall that we could have volunteers work on so that we could get into a bigger parcel. Because I think there's maybe a wet parcel down there, but where the stone walls are, it was more open fields
Yep.
ages ago. So,
Requires some exploring.
yep.
One way to get going on it.
So if we keep that one in mind, if anybody else who wants to go, just let us know. But if we have that one in mind when we're there, we can at least ask questions that pertain to, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then we can also think about it. What kind of budget do we need in order to pull one of these off? You know, usually if you have,
I don't know what the parameters are on that grant. Is there a match requirement?
I forget, I didn't,
No idea.
yeah. No, but I mean, so then they need a copy, you know, and, or they need different components and copies of maps and things like that. So do we need a budget, or can it all be supported through, you know, like working through the selectman's office or something like that?
Good question.
But then we'd probably have to get some kind of approval, because we get a lot of questions, because it's working with the Conservation Commission and saying, okay, this is what we're proposing. Can you give us a thumbs up? Can we keep moving on this, right? Okay. Anybody have any other ideas on what we could, other places we could do a trail?
What's this piece way up here in the corner? I need to label these on here so I know what they are, but as of right now, I don't have them labeled, so. This piece right here. Isn't that?
Oh.
They sold the house lots?
Yeah, this is, yeah. So this is in back where it's owned by the town. They sold some of these house lots to go towards the purchase price, but that's all open, but I think some of that is the Beagle Club too. I'd have to, because I think this is one of these is gated. That goes up to the Beagle Club and there's
Area.
some fencing in there. But technically, it's town owned. So, yeah, that could be.
That's a big chunk right there.
And there is some, I think there are some existing cart paths and stuff in there.
I need a name to property.
I don't think it's not,
Conservation?
no.
Just town. Does it matter?
Well, because conservation has that added Chapter 97 protection, and this does not. So,
Oh, the town says they're gonna do something with it.
yeah, if they wake up one day and want to put a fire station there, what happens to the trail? I mean, we could probably do a workaround, but if you invest in a certain amount, they want to see that it's completely, or it's protected as much as possible. I mean, I guess for the future, we could also think about, are there places in the forest that we'd like to see trails developed or upgraded? Because this particular grant is also for DCR.
Oh, yeah, there's always that.
Mm-hmm.
Or adding property to it. Actually, Will just said that DCR just bought this piece of property right here. They've got this piece.
Oh, good.
And as an aside, we're losing him.
Oh, come on.
He just called me this morning. Going to another agency, I didn't ask, but he's going to another agency.
Who's leaving?
The new Douglas State Forest Supervisor.
Turnover arrest. Okay. Anything else?
How much expansion there is up this one? Which one is this one down here off the Hedgehog? We've got Mumford and Manchog.
Is that the new subdivision?
That's where they're putting
One
this.
of these, the Maryland Doobie, one's Maryland Doobie, and
Oh, this is the one my dad has, I think. There's a trail in there. That's named after my dad.
okay, so, does that trail go from Mumford to Manchog?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it just one straight trail?
No, it's sort of,
Kind of wanders around?
it loops around.
Circle?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does need some help over here, because it's not. So that's why I wanted to talk about stewardship and a group, because last May, was it? The mountain laurel in there was just unbelievable. But there were a bunch of blowdowns. So, like, we had my mom out there, but it was hard for her to walk because we had to go up and over trees.
Yep.
So if we did some cleanup there, and then also figured out, Massimo Fontaine did a really nice boardwalk as an Eagle Scout project. That was really nice, and then it just needs to be, sort of, the circle back needs to be completed or upgraded. But if you want to we could do a site walk sometime and go out there and check it out.
I think it's a good idea if we start doing sidewalks of the stuff that is
Exists.
existing, document what's there right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
See, let's spin our wheels on something that already has something.
Yeah.
Because I think there's South Street. Some other land besides Keenan.
We could at least walk the trail, GPS it. We can start getting maps for these things.
Yeah, I thought there was conservation land around here somewhere. I'll have to look it up.
I mean, I have them all colored in. It's starting to play on this map. He's adding some details, names and acreage. These are the unknown properties that pulled up. Ready?
Well, it's still hunting season, but did you want to schedule something between now and the next meeting, or I mean, we could still do a Sunday too, or whatever.
That would be good.
So do you want to? This coming Sunday is,
19. So in the morning I came out.
what's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, earlier is better for me.
Okay, you want to try 9 a.m.? Kathy, can you do that?
Sunday the 17th,
19th,
a Tuesday? Yep.
November, no,
Oh, I mean December, sorry.
November what?
19,
Yeah, I can do that. What time?
9 a.m.?
Saturday.
No, Sunday.
Hmm?
Sunday.
November 19th is a Saturday. Is it?
No.
It's a Sunday. You're right, it is. And what time?
9 a.m.?
We do church. I could do noontime.
Yeah, we can't do that.
6 of one, habit of the other.
do Saturday, I could do Monday,
I could go back out again at noon if you wanted, I don't know. Let's start with 9 AM Sunday. We'll do that parcel my dad's name is on Mumford. The parking's on Mumford.
That's what I was just gonna ask you.
And there's an actual parking area.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've been on that trail. Yeah.
oh, so you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you go up Mumford heading towards Manchog, and first there's a sign at near the brook that says it's conserved. And then right next to it, a little bit more before the next house, there's a little area to park. It also has a sign.
Okay.
So we'll meet at the parking,
Yep.
okay? Anybody else have a site walk you want to schedule? While we're here? Any other business we need to? Oh, so we have this volunteer waiver. I don't know how old this is. Does anybody have any idea on how? This is basically so somebody can use a chainsaw out there and stuff like that.
I don't think there was any restrictions on it, so.
No. But it's basically so if you're doing physical labor and doesn't issue you hold the town harm, yeah, or not hold it. So if we put this up on the website, then everybody can access it unless, do you want a copy now? I can make copies, I don't care. But what's the best way for us to get the word out and sort of say, you know, let's try to get people together to do some, it's easier sometimes to work in the winter when it's not as muddy, but to do trail maintenance or,
Snow. Could be snow.
yeah,
Toss it out on the website,
okay.
town website, post it, and Facebook. Douglas Dynamic.
Dynamic Douglas, discussing Douglas. What's the other one? There's about 4 different Douglas sites.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm on that one. Well, if you're on all 4, you grab the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I'll write something up, and then I'll put it out, I'll send it out to everybody, and then if you can post where you know, and we don't necessarily have to set a date yet, but we can just cast a net that says, if you're interested in doing trail work, park maintenance, whatever, and want to get together, we will be back in touch. Okay?
Yep, sounds good.
You want to be in charge of posting on all of the Facebook pages?
I can do that.
That
Sure.
way there we won't be,
Yeah, that'd be
Without
great.
duplicating them.
right. You put yourself in the contact, anyone that's interested?
Or they can just send an email to,
Open space?
yeah,
Gotcha. You
right?
got it. Might as well use it.
Might as well use it. Cool. So do we want to make this a priority for the next meeting? To go through and say,
Yeah, look at all the highs.
yeah, let's look at all the highs and then figure out what we're, what else we need to do as a priority.
Yep.
Did you get the have you gotten a current list of the Chapter 61 owners?
No, I thought Sue said she had, but it was a little confusing. Because people got confused because at first they sent out a notice that, right, the chapter properties were due October 1st, which is the old system, and now they're due December 1st. So, like, if you missed it, you had time, but it was confusing to those of us who saw the other date. You know, we're like, what?
An email serves that say, hey, Chapter 61 is being updated, being changed. Most people don't have their fingers on that pulse.
Well, I thought it was Department of Revenue who should send that out, but never saw anything.
Yeah, but there's some websites, like Mass Farm Bureau and things like that.
Yep.
Unless you're in on those things, that they say, hey, the timeline of the Chapter 61 has changed. That's how I'm finding out about it.
Okay.
It wasn't from the
No,
Department of Revenue.
no, but I mean, the Department of Revenue should be, well, maybe they sent it out to the treasurers when they should have been sending it to the assessors too? I'm not even going to try to figure that out. Any other old business? New business?
Who was just willingness and leaving.
All righty. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Gordon made the motion.
Yeah.
Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Like,
Aye. Okay.
Two